When I first read about EdSci, I immediately fell in love. This was exactly what I liked. I did my bachelor's educational sciences at Utrecht University, and at that time I also worked as a research assistant. One of the researchers suggested EdSci to me.
I had a very different path, but I would say the same thing. When I read the description of EdSci, I thought, oh yeah, this is it. I'm from New Zealand and I did my undergrad in English literature and Spanish. I worked in education for a while and then I wanted to get into educational research. In EdSci, I learned how to speak the language of educational research. We learned how to navigate in that world, but we also researched things that I'd been doing as a teacher, and that was really empowering.
The Masters trains you to have a very critical way of thinking. I enjoyed being surrounded by people who want to work hard. It was a huge learning experience to work with people from all different kinds of backgrounds. I learned a lot from Eleanor, for example, or from other peers with teaching experience.
And I learned a lot from you. In the collaborative group assignments, for example. It was unlike anything I'd ever done before. You're in this small, really motivated group who push you to do the work. Every group assignment that was handed in, I felt like it was better than what I could have done by myself.
I also enjoyed working with lecturers. They were very motivated to work with us and approached us as colleagues.
The lecturers teach stuff that is directly linked to their research. They're really passionate about what they're teaching, and you know that what you're being exposed to is cutting edge.
The lecturers gave us a lot of support and freedom to find out what you were interested in, what kind of a researcher you want to be like, or what kind of topics you want to research.
I did a big assignment on education policy in New Zealand and Māori students, for example, and I felt supported to research a topic that I was personally interested in.
In your second year, you can choose to do an internship. I did my internship at the Dutch Inspectorate of Education, which I did because I wanted to experience how it was to work outside of academia. Amongst others, I worked on a project about the effects of corona on the quality of education in the vocational education in the Netherlands. This experience made me self-confident about the skills I had developed during the first years of the Masters. That was very helpful and important.
I did an internship at the university. I found a lecturer who had a project that I was excited about, and I did the data collection. I spoke to experts about their experiences developing innovative history resources in post-conflict societies. I'm now working towards publishing that paper, and I was able to travel to South Korea to present some preliminary results to practitioners, which was really cool.
The master thesis was a very valuable way to apply what we had learned during EdSci. It was very nice to work on a topic for which I was highly motivated to conduct good research and which I found most interesting.
And we often sat together, all working on our thesis. It felt like we had our own little research community.
The challenging part about EdSci is time management. It's a very intense study program, so you need to be focused on creating good study habits, managing your time.
And another thing you hear is that people are scared of the statistics courses.
You are an example of someone who did not have previous experience with statistics and you nailed it.
Everyone will have things they find challenging and things they're more confident in. It's about asking for help when you need it because there is help available.
Now I graduated from EdSci and I'm doing a PhD in equal educational opportunities. I'm researching how teachers differentiate out of good intentions their support to students from different ethnic and socioeconomic backgrounds and how that relates to their study results.
I'm also doing a PhD. I'm looking at interest development in high school students, and I'm researching what enjoyable and meaningful learning inside and outside of the school context looks like. And I use stuff I learn in EdSci every single day in this position. EdSci provides you with a toolbox of skills. You'll have confidence in your ability to look for information, come up with a research design, justify it, analyze data, and communicate in the academic world.
After finishing EdSci, you can also work outside of academia. Someone from our class is teaching a class of gifted children, and I also know someone who is working at the EU Council, or you can work at different governmental organizations or in learning consultancy.
If you want to work around education and you find research and the construction of theoretical knowledge interesting, then EdSci is a very useful program, and I would really recommend it.
I would recommend EdSci to anyone who would like to critically examine learning and education, who would like to improve and make impact through educational research, and also through more other practically oriented jobs.